Hi all, I'm Waldemar. Welcome to Chessadelic.com. We're going to have a look at a game played between Ivanchuk and Cheparinov during the 4th round of the MTEL Masters Chess Tournament in Sofia, Bulgaria 2008. As you can see, we've reached a very exciting King's Indian type of position. White is a pawn up, but in this dynamic kind of position that is not really a very significant factor. We can also see that black's pieces are placed very menacingly on white's king side. However, in this position, white has a serious edge, and he probably is winning. He threatens to play a move like knight h5, after which he would threaten to play knight f6 check, when the black rook would be in danger, and also the black knight on h4 would be in danger because it would be attacked by the bishop on e1. So in this position, Cheparinov tried to make the most of it, and he played knight takes h2. This move threatens mate by means of rook h4 check. But Ivanchuk played a very strong move now. He played knight f5, placing his knight on a very strong outpost and threatening a number of black squares in black's position. Also, of course, he overprotects the h4 square so that there is no mate. And he also introduces the threat of queen c8 by himself, which would win the bishop on f8 and lead to a forced checkmate. Okay, now it was Cheparinov's turn again. He played queen a6, which attacks the rook on f1 and again threatens a mating attack. Ivanchuk played rook h1, placing his rook on the g file, thereby endangering the black rook on g4 and of course also attacking the knight on g2 for the second time. Remember that white's king is also attacking this knight, and still he has this threat of queen c8 up his sleeve. Well, Cheparinov is still hanging in there. He plays queen d3 and now threatens queen h3 mate. But it's not really a big deal, because now Ivanchuk can exchange queens. Cheparinov has to recapture on d3, and that means that the knight on g2 is no longer protected by the knight on f4. But Cheparinov must have thought, well, that's not really a big deal, because if now, for instance, white takes on g2 with the rook, then I recapture with my rook, and then if king takes rook, then I'm still attacking the bishop in e1, and then I play knight takes e1 check. And there would still be some kind of balance in the position. Okay, but what Cheparinov probably had missed, or had hoped that Ivanchuk would miss, was the very strong move bishop h4. And this really clinches the win for white. In playing bishop h4, white is saving his own bishop and is introducing the threat to gain the knight on g2. Now it is not possible to play knight f4 back, because then I would play knight takes f4, and then after rook takes f4, there would simply follow rook takes g2 check, and white is winning with the piece up. So the final moves in this position were rook e4. Now Ivanchuk took the extra piece, king f7, and now the final accuracy was played, knight takes d6 check. Let's see what would have happened if Ivanchuk would have played knight g5 immediately, forking king and rook. Then there would follow king f6, knight takes e4, and after king takes e5, knight c3. White is still winning, but black would still have his d6 pawn. And after the text move, which was played in the game, knight takes d6, bishop takes d6, again knight g5 followed, and now Cheparinov resigned. Of course, he could have tried something like king f6, but then after knight takes e4, check, and king f5 for instance, which would be a bad move, excuse me. Probably, no, this is a double check, excuse me, king f5, white would also win the bishop on d6. And that is possible due to the fact that the bishop that was earlier on f8 was lured to d6 now. So that's the explanation why knight takes d6 in between check on the 39th move was much stronger and more accurate. So, another very impressive win for Ivanchuk, and that brings us to the end of this video. Please come back for Ivanchuk's win in the 5th round. Thank you.